It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso on S3. It's a Friday morning, hanging out with JP Sebastian. You know what that means. We're talking movies and arguably what might be, what probably will be the biggest release of the year. Wakanda Forever. We've been hearing the music. We've been seeing trailers all over. Set the scene for us, JP. What is happening?
You're being so scientific, by the way. You're saying might be the biggest, might be like this.
Definitely will be.
2022 belongs to. So setting the scene for you, and this is all I'll do here. A bit later, we'll get into the meat and potatoes of what I find is pro and what I find is con.
Right.
But what is the story of Wakanda Forever? Obviously being the sequel to Black Panther. And now you've got this big elephant in the room. That's the issue to deal with. And the issue is not the right word. They lost a comrade, they lost a compatriot, they lost a friend and co-star. Filmmakers, directors, crew, all those people. And I want to show you a bit about how they talk about handling the pain of going through that. Let's show you a bit of
because it is a key part of this, right?
Yeah, sure. It obviously does come into how they portray and also the story that's portrayed. So let them speak for themselves. Here's a little look at a featurette from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
No woman, no cry.
Audiences have embraced Wakanda and Black Panther. And Chadwick, he knew exactly what this story, what these images meant to the world.
We all suffered an incredible loss when we lost Chadwick.
Chad was very much our artistic partner. I would spend time with him, just he and I, talking about like, where we would want to see the story go, how much he admired the other characters and the actors that portrayed them.
In the telling of this story, we were all able to honor him together.
It was really moving to come back to Wakanda and for us to be able to do it with a sense of celebration.
There's so much that's happening in this movie. It's amazing. So many new characters to explore. Just seeing the world of Wakanda again, and then now we're going to this whole new world underwater.
My enemies call me Namor.
Introducing Namor, who's a character we were really excited to portray in the film, arguably one of the oldest comic book characters that there is.
The opportunity to play a character like this, it's a dream.
He's the king of an underwater civilization called Talokan.
He is regarded as a living god.
I need to know if Wakanda is an ally or an enemy.
Wow, what a time, what a time, what a story. I mean, you were just referring to the visuals right now. The world of Wakanda is expanding. We're going underwater now. There's a new...
They have to deal with other forces now.
Yes, exactly.
They can't just keep to themselves the way they wanted to in the first movie.
So talk us through the story, summarize it.
And so that's one of the new characters in a way, is like you said, the world coming to them. They went to a stage at the end of number one, and now the world finally tries to reach out to Wakanda. And whether that's in ways of peace, whether that's in ways of war, you'll find out when the movie comes out. Well, for you today, go watch it. And so Namor is a character they kept talking about there a lot, and the people of Talokan. So Wakanda is, like I said, they're branching out, all the branches to all sorts of other countries, but this other mystery race, which you could describe as Atlantean, undersea kind of thing, you know, a really advanced nation. How the heck does Talokan, how the heck does their leader, Namor, Tenok Muerta, who you just saw there in the interviews, breach the borders of the most advanced nation on Earth, Wakanda. At one point, he just crawls onto a riverbank while Queen Ramonda and Shuri are mourning the loss of King T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman.
Perhaps an opportunity to conquer new worlds.
Yes, or possibly to branch out and make partnerships. So he throws that gambit at them. You're either with me or you're against me. You join us or you're against us. And similarly, he seems to want what Wakanda had, this enjoyment of keeping the outside world out, keeping their resources, etc., etc. So he comes there with that kind of proposition. He believes that there's a war coming. He believes that the worlds other than Wakanda, other than Talokan, are threats to those two nations. And so if they band together, they might be able to protect, in Wakanda's case, the vibranium that they sit on.
Right.
And in the case of Talokan, their own special thing, which I won't go into the details.
Yeah, don't give it
Obviously,
away,
a bunch
don't
of,
give it
you know,
away.
spoilers, I won't.
But I mean, even that scene right over there with Angela Bassett's character meeting the king of the Talokan seemed rather confrontational. You were, you know,
It's a coin
exemplifying
toss
that,
right now. I'm not going to tell
Are
you.
you with us or are you against us?
And so he makes that position to them. And so here you've seen similar to, I suppose, remember Killmonger was also with Michael B. Jordan's character?
Right, yes.
With Chadwick Boseman's character. Like, we could join together or you could be my enemy. And the same kind of story presents itself here.
I see M'Baku is also there.
Yes.
M'Baku.
Fantastic, he is. And so yeah, that's...
If the music matches what I'm seeing, then I'm
I made
sold.
the M'Baku sound there, actually. The Jabari sound. Yeah, dude, the score is incredible in this. But I'll tell you what, I'll get into the criticism of it as time goes on. That's just the setting of it all. This is where it's set. This is where Wakanda is. They also have to worry about, well, does someone else take the mantle of Black Panther?
That's the thing, because now the kingdom is weakened.
Do we need this great defender? And if there's this super advanced nation that was just able to like walk through the door while we were supposed to be protecting it, do we need the Black Panther on our side right now? So there's a bit of infighting, a bit of toss-up there of, is that in the past? Is this part of our future? But tell you what, a bit more from the people themselves from Wakanda Forever. Let's have another look at the rest of that featurette you looked at earlier.
The level of care creating this story, it is astounding. And so it just really felt like for all of us to give it everything we have and more.
I'm just so grateful and blessed to be a part of this. The actors were filled with emotion and passion.
I am queen of the most powerful nation, and my entire family is gone.
Altogether, we ended up using those feelings to create something really special.
The action and adventure with the emotional stakes so high. Things are happening up, down, and everywhere.
I'm so excited about the world being able to tap into Wakanda again. How each character takes on new challenges. And I'm excited about us honoring Chad. Yeah, he would want us to just inspire the world.
You saw it, right? You saw it right there at the end.
I'm so pleased by your childlike glee. Because that's the feeling. You went, who? And the question is who? Who takes up the mantle?
Okay, all right. Okay,
Maybe
so
not.
we're going to find out a bit more about, you know, your pros and cons, as you said earlier on, and then the all-important popcorn score that you're going to be giving Black Panther.
You're all going to go watch it
Wakanda
anyway. It
Forever.
don't matter.
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest release, but of course, we'll chat to JP again a little bit later.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's a Friday morning. We're back with your Feel Good Breakfast Show alongside JP Sebastian. We're talking Wakanda Forever, the next in the series of Black Panther movies, which releases today. We've gotten a little bit of a scene into what it was like for the cast to be reunited after, of course, the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, who reprised the role of the Black Panther in the previous movie. And now you're going to take us through some scenes that you think are mark-worthy or noteworthy for us to kind of...
Well, let's just give you some tasters first. Before we get into JP being a grump, being a grouch, let's keep your appetite up for Wakanda Forever, which is out today, which you get to see on the big screen as we speak. But before then, let's have a teaser. Here's a little special look at the movie.
Aneka, where is your spear? Shuri gave me this to try. You know, I like them better. Our foremothers gave us this spear because it is precise, elegant, and deadly. It will not change under my watch. Yes, General.
I told you not to bring them.
The level of skill to just have a casual conversation while eliminating the enemy. What am I talking? Historic knowledge?
Lambasting your colleague for not doing their job to spec. Now, sometimes that goofiness is like appreciated, you know, because
Right.
you've got a dead serious story.
Exactly. It
Dealing
is
with, like,
after all a
heist.
comic book that we're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
can we have some levity? And so, fortunately, they bring that.
What I do remember from the first movie is that the action scenes were thrilling. They were great. I really enjoyed them. Are we leveling up and matching?
And that returns in part because you have director Ryan Coogler, the guy who did Creed. Remember Creed? Michael B. Jordan?
Yes.
One of the best boxing movies I've seen in my life, and I've seen, you know, all of them. So yeah, the action. Unfortunately, the action I don't think stands up to number one.
Okay.
And this is the case with sequels. We're talking about a sequel here. Are sequels ever better than the first time round? Everyone remembers their first kiss, that type of thing, or whatever. So yeah, the action is good. It's there. It's at the level of a Marvel movie. But there's sort of some no-nos that do kind of upset me. If you have two people fighting, you have JP and Katlego.
Right.
You keep both of them in frame at all times because those poor actors rehearsed that to death.
This is true.
They spent a week on it. Do not show a shot of Okoye separately fighting, you know, the Talokan warriors.
Right.
Keep them in frame together.
You also lose the context of like the impact of the move.
Flow, the kinetics and all that kind of stuff. It's not a death knell, it's not a deal breaker completely, but those are basics of action, man.
Okay.
Both of your actors broke their butts trying to get that scene right. Show them getting the scene right.
Okay.
So the action at least fulfills that job to an extent. Now the other thing is that we've got fantastic actors here, and how dare you try and get me to judge Angela Bassett?
I mean, at your peril.
Letitia Wright obviously does her job fantastically too. Shuri, you've got Danai Gurira, who you just saw in the scene there, is fantastic as always. And Lupita Nyong'o is one of the greatest living human things we have, I think. I was rooting so much for her to be the Black Panther. Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. You'll find out for yourself. So the acting's all great. Now I have to get on to, well, there's the new guy, obviously, Tenoch Huerta.
Yes, exactly.
Great newcomer. I think that he's obviously the main new thing added to this, and he's delivering.
He's the king of the
Talokan. And like you said, he's walking this sort of tightrope between good or bad, and does that very well. Now, JP's going to get be a bit of a grouch.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I've got to speak here as an African, as someone who knows a lot about our attempt at decolonial stories and stuff like that. And Wakanda Forever has to place itself in that. Every movie uses politics as its plaything, as its playground. That's fine. That's fair game. That's how we navigate politics. War movies, etc., etc. But you're seriously going to make a movie here where the force from the Gulf of Mexico are the bad guys in Africa's history of decolonial, like where our president Nelson Mandela went to go thank the Cubans who came to liberate us, and here the Wakandans are working with the CIA. The history is really a bit sort of contorted and perverse in a way. Whether that's willfully or not is up to the makers of the movie.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, if you're going to tell a story that is about African decolonialism and times of Cold War, how we preserve our resources, how we protect ourselves, etc., you have to get it right. And they kind of get that wrong. It's not a total deal breaker though, but the main thing here is something I said earlier, is that we're really just rehashing Killmonger. Are you with me or are you against me type of
Right, okay.
And this character, you're doing a sequel that's really just filling those same shoes. Same story, happening again, just at a larger scale. Tell you what, though, let's have another scene before JP runs his mouth too much. And here's the man himself, Tenoch Huerta, and Angela Bassett and Letitia Wright meeting for the first time in Wakanda. How did he get in? They're that advanced, the Talokan.
Stop! Right there! Who are you? And how did you get in here?
This place is amazing. The air is pristine. And the water. My mother told stories about a place like this. A protected land with people that never have to leave, that never have to change who they were. What reason do you have to reveal your secret to the world?
I am not a woman who enjoys repeating herself. Who are you?
I have many names. My people call me Akukungkan. But my enemies call me Namor.
Wow.
Pathos, gravitas, all those words Graham loves so much.
Wow, yeah.
Now, sorry, just quickly, one last point about me being a grouch before I read the score is the thing is, aside from refilling the same shoes of the previous movie that you had just seen, the same bad guy doing the same thing all over again, is the other thing, oh my goodness, it's actually just in my mind.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, perhaps...
He's brought a blank on himself, yeah.
Perhaps a good time now to reflect on your score.
Yes. Okay, in which case, I have to say, since we've seen it all before, acting's great, but action's not as good. Wakanda Forever gets 6 out of 10 from JP Sebastian. That seems harsh. But look, it's the nature of sequels. Sequels are never going to be as good as the first time around, and the first one was great.
Yeah.
Great to see the same director back, but, you know, that's the deal here. Oh, yeah, here's the main thing. It's called Wakanda Forever. How long do you want to wait to see the Black Panther? It takes forever.
Oh, Okay, well, hopefully there's a gradual build-up that keeps you in the tension of the moment.
It's not a
regardless
bad
of this
movie.
6 out of 10, I'm sure that millions of people across the world will be attending theaters to catch Wakanda Forever. I certainly will be.